Let's make this one trip we will never forget.
Okay, we're in a very quiet area of Gamescom here, looking at Until Dawn with Pete. Pete, thank you very much indeed for joining us today. How's Gamescom been for you so far?
It's been really exciting from right from the Sony press conference and seeing our work up there after 2 years of relative silence. It was really exciting, and the reception that got in the show itself, and then the subsequent feedback straight after the show, leading right into the feedback coming from the show floor demo. But we couldn't have wished for more. We're really excited about it. It's great.
Okay, you have returned. This feels like a resurrection almost, because obviously it's not the first time we've heard about the game. A bit different from last time. So what happened?
Well, when we announced for PlayStation 3 in the move, we got such a great reception, but we also got a lot of demand of people asking for a non-move version. And we took that very seriously from the community, and we went away and we had some conversations with Sony and looked at what we should do with it. And PS4 was on the horizon, so when we looked at that, we had such a great story that we thought we could, if we made some changes to it, we could make it a much more adult, much more grown-up version. And with the realism we could get on PlayStation 4, it was just too big an opportunity to miss.
This has shifted from, yes, we'll be right to say more tongue-in-cheek take on the horror genre to something, so we went from Scary Movie to The Evil Dead almost.
Well, it's certainly a much more serious take, yeah. I don't think the first one was quite Scary Movie, but...
Bigger production values, at least. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek in it, and I think the story that we have now, it develops so much and so quickly, and there's so many twists and turns in it that, I mean, there are still times where there's a little bit of humour, a little bit of lightness, and I think it's important to get that contrast anyway. But very quickly it does, as you say, it does become quite dark, yeah.
So sort of run us through, how does the gameplay operate? What are the mechanics? What are people going to see when they start the game?
So the gameplay mechanics, there's a whole wide range, and I like to think that pretty much anybody can pick it up and play it. People that are more skilled at gaming, that have played a lot more games, will probably have a different experience. But even people that have never played games before, that can just about master the DualShock 4, will still get a great experience, albeit a different one. And the gameplay kind of hinges around making choices, sometimes under pressure, trying to understand what's going on the mountain, and part of that's through exploration and finding things to get backstory and really, figure out what that threat is to help you to make better decisions later, to help you to react better under pressure with skill and speed in certain areas. But everybody can live and everybody can die in Until Dawn, and we don't think it's a worse story. In fact, it's an equally good story, no matter how many people live or die. And if you watch a horror movie and nobody dies, it'd be pretty dull, wouldn't it? So there's a little bit of a conflict there for the gamer that would naturally want to keep everybody alive, but actually the deaths are pretty good as well.
So do you manually select between the different characters? Do you select one character to play from the start? How does that whole thing operate?
Well, during the game you play as all 8 of the friends at one point or other. The story determines who you're going to play as next based on the situations that you've created, and what comes, what are the events that are set up in this scenario on the mountain, and who the right character is to play next. Of course, if the right character to play next isn't alive anymore, then we make a logical decision about what scene you play and who you play as. But you do actually get to play as all of them.
I imagine there's a whiteboard at your studio with a lot of post-it notes up, doing the different storylines and stuff like that. I mean, how many potential outcomes are we talking here? Have you tried to extrapolate for every possible outcome of every possible situation?
Absolutely we have, yeah. We've covered every possible outcome for every situation. And when we talk about the amount of paths, we talk about thousands of paths towards the ending, and we talk about hundreds of different variations on the ending. And we believe we're using very conservative language in that, and we don't want to pin a number on it because a lot depends on what your definition of unique and different is. So we've been conservative when we say thousands of paths and hundreds of variations on the ending, but it really is that well thought through, that well designed, and there is that much difference between one person's story and another's.
Listen, thanks very much indeed for taking the time to us. Have a great Gamescom.
Very welcome. Thank you very much.